Okay, here we are again. In this case, for the final time with this game. Let's load it up, shall we? Wait, what was our progress? 86. Okay. That sounds about right. There's quite a lot of things to pick up in this final level, so I wouldn't be shocked if the vast majority of that was there. We will wait about 2.5, maybe 3.5 minutes, and then we'll get started. Hey Tannum, how's it going? Welcome back. We are just about ready to get started. Got a couple more minutes. I'm going to let everybody filter in. And then we'll get started with Le Finale today. That is not how you say that in French. Doesn't matter. You got the idea. Glad you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good myself. So, just same stuff, different day. You know how it goes. Anticipating how much backtracking I'll have to do when I hit the chapter button there. I haven't hit it since yesterday's stream when we first started, so we'll get to see how much backtracking we're doing in just a couple of minutes once I get started. Shouldn't be too bad, though. I mean, we got to run through most of the Valley of Avalar again to get that one magic crystal, but other than that, I think we'll be good. Shouldn't be too bad. Okay, clock says 4:32, other clock says 4:32. Sounds like a good time for the last time to be playing this trilogy. As I said yesterday, it's a bit bittersweet for me personally, but we will talk about why that is at the end when I do my usual little monologue, and I just realize how much of a pun it is to say monologue considering my username. How did I not get that? I've been doing this for 11 years and I haven't gotten that yet? Oh, what the hell. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to The Legend of Spyro, Dawn of the Dragon, the Stream Edition. This will be the final episode of the trilogy and of this game, because last time we made our way towards the Dragon Temple that Malefor now uses as his base of operations. After several significant character developments and Ignitus biting the big one. And now, in order to make sure that nobody's sacrifices will be in vain, we have to finish all of this. But before we finish all of this, because the world is in imminent peril, that makes this the best time to go do side quests. But it's not exactly the best time to go do side quests. The best time to go do side quests is when we're right in front of the front door to the final boss. then it's the best time. And as it so happens, in the next area that we're going to, there is a save point directly outside of a door that behaves as something of a point of no return. You can leave, obviously, because you can just quit game and then go back to the main menu and select chapter after that, but from a story perspective, it's a point of no return because they lock the door behind you and all that other stuff. So, but let's check the chapters out. Actually, let's check the bonuses out so we can see the galleries that we've got left here. So, excuse me, last time we finished up Spyro's Fire Breath and Cynder's Poison Breath, so we unlocked their galleries. This was done in the second episode. This will be done today. And this one we just got because we just got to the floating islands. So, yeah, the only thing left, Enemies Gallery, and we will get to that today as we continue story mode in the floating islands. But actually, let me check our chapter data real quick just to see what we've got left. So we know we got this to go get, this magic crystal, mana crystal, what have you, in the Valley of Avalar, so we'll go get that today. I know where that is. Unfortunately, there's a lot of level before that, but that's okay, we'll figure it out. And looks like everywhere else we've done pretty good. So it's just the stuff here, and this is the floating islands right here, and then this is the final boss fight. So it's just the stuff here, and then once we got that, we're in good shape. So not a whole lot of backtracking to do. I did pretty good, I guess, this time. Sometimes I have to go back to several levels, but apparently not this time. So that's okay. Let's head off to the floating islands. Yeah, the flying lands. That's just great, is what I was going to say. Not exactly false, but not exactly the full name. So we'll go check it out. We'll see what we can find. And before we go through the door of quote-unquote no return, we'll go do our backtracking.
It's beautiful up here.
Like I said, almost peaceful up here by comparison to
it must
down
lead
there.
to Malefor's lair.
Thanks for ruining the moment.
Well, just being pragmatic, I guess. But anyway, yeah, in order to get in there, well, we're going to have to deal with these guys first. And I don't particularly like those dark arrows that they like to use, so... Whoop, okay. Excuse me, sir. We'll just, take you with me. A little bit of a waste of mana, but, well... Ow. The floating islands, in particular, are a pretty good place to use the wind breath, almost like the electric breath from the first game, because, well, you got a bottomless pit to work with, so that helps out. I think you lose their gems, though, when they go off a cliff there. Like, they die, but I don't think you get their gemstones when they go off the cliff like that. Not that we really need them that badly, but, you know. I guess if you need them that badly, it might be worthwhile to, you know, hold on to them. To try not to use that to defeat them. I also think, if I remember correctly, there's an updraft around here somewhere. Yeah, that we can use to get up here, but we unfortunately cannot get past this. We can't just fly directly past this, if I remember correctly, because there's a wall here. Yeah, there's a wall blocking me from just going in instead of doing the actual puzzle, which is fine, no big deal, whatever. And there's nothing over here, right? No, there's not. Okay. So that's that. So now we gotta light the torches that are at the door there. And once we light those torches, we can get in. So that's what we'll go do. I guess I could use a little mana, but probably not that much because we didn't exactly lose a whole lot of it. Those guys that we were fighting there, they've got armor and they've got those dark arrows. They've got a sword and a shield. Bone weapon, bone armor. Camera's stuck. So they can be a little tricky to deal with. I mean, Electric Breath and Shadow Breath does pretty good against them, but they can be a little tricky to deal with, especially in groups, because they like to kind of gang up on you a little bit, so gotta be a little careful with them, but that's okay. We'll be fine. I don't think there's any other torches besides these ones here. I think this is, okay, the main one. Let me get rid of that real quick. There we go. Thank you, Cynder. Spyro, if you would. So yeah, there are several torches to light. There's 8 total that we need to light that are up there, so we'll go get them. Actually, there might have been some down here, now that I think about it. We can go get. I wasn't really thinking about it. Yeah, there's 2 down there that we can go grab right at the door, so I'll go get them right now. And you can do these in any order you want, but I guess I'll just grab them as we see them. I think there's a total of 2 elite enemies in this area, and I think if I remember right, one of them will spawn only once you've lit all 8 of the torches. Not anywhere near here, but we'll get to where they are in a little bit, so... Didn't hold X long enough, there we go. Alright, let's just do that, because it'll respawn by the time I need it again, so... that is not a torch, but I do see a whole bunch of experience nodes. Yeah, I can't quite do the speedrunning trick where you do this and you bounce up. There's a way to do it, but I don't remember what it is, so... Is that it? Nope. Still down here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know where he went. Oh, there he is. Okay. I think this guy's a part of a group of enemies that are down below this, but not really sure. Guess it don't matter now. He's been separated from the group, isolated, and now he's not going to help them anymore, so... How are we doing anyway? I'm pretty sure Cynder can buy any one element that she would need to upgrade, so... let's see. You're fully upgraded there. You've got this left, and you only need about 23,000 more to get there. What is that? 44.5, so you only need like 22-ish thousand more to be done with that. You've got a little bit to go. We might as well, because we're going to be using this a lot, so we might as well fully upgrade this, and then we'll continue after that. Getting some more EXP for Cynder. Okay, there's that. She's got 11 out of, let's see, 40, 50, 60, 70, 45. So yeah, we should probably be playing as her for a little bit, because Spyro is in pretty good shape right now. He's a little ahead. So let's swap over to Cynder for now. Let her do a little bit of lambasting on the enemies here. Let's see if I've aimed this correctly. Yep, sure have. Alright, now, did I miss a torch up here? No, I did not. That was an experience cluster at one point. I do, however, see a torch over here, so let's go hit this one up while we're here. And there's a dude that's ready to do whatever he's doing here. Oh, okay. There you go. You can't even Shadow Strike him properly. Well, he's got the shield up, so... Oh, there we go. I suppose that would be the best way to do it. At least that's the way I choose to do it, anyway. And we're halfway there. Perfect. Okay, so now the rest of them are down in that direction there. There's a whole bunch of different areas that we can go exploring to down there. So we'll go see what we can find. I'm just going to check back here. Yeah, I didn't think there was anything back here. Just wanted to make sure. You can kind of see from here, though, that there's a little alcove on this platform here down below. So I'm going to dive real quick. And there we go. Yeah, so there's our, I think that's our actually supposed to be your last mana crystal, but, well, we missed one, so it's going to be our second to last, but you know how it goes. Goodbye. There we go. Spyro, you could use a little bit of it. Cynder's in good shape, mostly. Maybe I'll get her a couple of these. Yeah, now she's maxed out there. But yeah, a whole bunch of different platforms that you can grab stuff from here, so we'll see what we can do about grabbing everything while we're here. Yeah, there's a torch right here, so I'll light this up while we're here. Might as well. Where's Spyro at? Oh, okay, there you are. There you are, buddy. Just gonna let me get up on top of this. Is there anything even on top of it? Oh, yeah, there is. Okay. Well, good thing I came up here then, isn't it? Okay, that's 5. There's a 6th one down here. Right here. So let's go grab this one. Can kind of see the city and everything from here too. Good view of everything out there, even though it's a little low poly. But that's okay. It just, you know, if it was high poly, it would cause slowdown. So, in most cases, anyway. Oftentimes, if the skybox is too high res in these older titles, it causes a little bit of slowdown, which does not do the game any favors. Is there anything down here or over here? Like, I see some enemies spawning over there, and I see a save point down there. So,
I'll lead.
yeah, Cynder, why don't you handle this one? Whoa, that's a little too far. Well, I mean, I'm already down here, so I guess I might as well. I did the jump there. I just held triangle, so I'm not sure why it jumped me there, but I'll take it. Alright, here we go. Where are you guys at? There you are. Oh, they got boomerangs too. Okay, well, that's fine. Yeah, you do your arrow thing while I take your buddies out to pasture here. There you go. Oh, we're tethered to these bull things. Yeah, these are, I don't know if these are new. I feel like they've been in another level, but I'm not 100% sure about that. They shoot out these electrical orbs that are similar to the snake tether that we've been stuck with the whole game. They'll tether you to a spot, though, instead of to each other. So I guess you could watch out for that. It's really not that much of a hassle, though, because you can break those little electrical ball things in, like, one hit, so it's really not a huge deal. So, I see a dark crystal here. It's sucking the life out of me. Should probably get rid of that. Hold on. There we go. And that's all of them. Okay, so now, once we go back up there, once we're done exploring out here, we can go right through that door, and we can continue with the level. Now, before I go through that door, if I recall correctly, I want to have a total of 4 experience notches left. And there's an elite enemy that just spawned, like I said. But I think I want a total of 4 spirit gems left, and then 1 health crystal and 1 elite enemy left over when I go in there, so... as for the elite enemy, I believe he's over there somewhere, so I guess we'll go handle him in a second. He's got an ice mask, so we'll have to fill up on that. As a matter of fact, let me go fill up before I go deal with him. I think there's a refill point close by somewhere. I've got to go up to get to it, but it's here somewhere. Mana crystal is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, here we go. There's some over here. Fill Spyro up a little bit. I'll give Cynder a little bit. I don't think she's going to be doing a whole lot in this particular fight because this is mainly just going to be Spyro's Ice Breath. We've got it up to level 3, so it will deal significant damage, and it's going to do most of the work for us in this particular fight, so... just gently fall to the ground there. There we go. And let's save right over this one. This is the old one. And then we'll be good. Alright, so we got the elite enemies over there, if I remember correctly. He's either over here by this one, or he's over there underneath that bridge. What is over here? Did we go over here yet? Yeah, this is where the other torch was. Okay. I got it. Experience node here. Spirit cluster. There we go. And there's the elite enemy right there that you can see floating around there. So we'll see what we can do about him. I usually like to just fire from the ground, honestly, at him, because once you hit him, he kind of just goes for a ride. Like that. And there goes his mask, so... let's get the hell away from that. Whoa. Yeah, if you can hit him like that, just like you did with the other guys back at the dam, it usually works pretty well on him. back up here. I keep sliding off the ledge. Ow, 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 ow. That was a little close, huh? And there we go, got him. Although I think Spyro got all the experience from that one, but it's okay. It's not really going to be a huge deal. Cynder will catch up. Yeah, Spyro got all of that. That's the price that we pay for just using his ice missiles for that fight, basically. I mean, I guess I could have used Cynder's, I don't know, something. Something else that Cynder could have used there to fight that guy. Maybe Fear, I guess, missiles would have worked okay. It's alright. We're all good. Let me refill up here, though, because those dark arrows did a number on me. So, thank you. I'll take those. I'll take those. I mean, we're not quite at maximum here, but we can get to maximum. It's not really a huge deal. And there's more where that came from if we go, hang on. Anything I missed down here? No, that's a mana cluster. Okay. The elite enemy music is still hanging out there somewhere. I guess that's fine. So we'll just leave well enough alone. We'll catch an updraft up here to get back to the door. We'll save, and then we will go back to the chapter selector and see what we've got there. So, but yeah, you can go in there. There's a whole bunch of health crystals and mana crystals and everything to indicate that we're in for a little bit of a fight once we get in that door. But that's our point of no return, quote unquote. So. If you got stuff you want to go do before that, you might want to go do it, so. Let's keep refilling. We're almost there. I don't know. You might get maxed out on your health and mana when you go to a different level, to be honest, so I might not even need to be refilling or anything, but I figured I would just because. Alright, so we'll save here. We're already at 94%. That's going to make this like 95 because we beat the elite enemy since the last time we saved, so. Alright, so that takes care of that. Now, before we move along, let's quit the level. And yeah, all of your progress since the last save point won't be saved, but all we've done since then is about 2 seconds of me blabbing my mouth, so we'll be okay. And we'll go do some backtracking, which may only result in us actually going to the Valley of Avalar, completing most of the level, skipping the cutscenes, and then going from there. What you want to check for here is, yeah, that's exactly what we want to see right there before we go into the door, is 4 experience clusters, 4 spirit clusters, 1 health crystal, and 1 elite enemy, because that is all that is left between here and the end of the level, so. But it looks like we got everything else saved for this 1 mana crystal. And I know where it is, so it shouldn't be too bad for us to get it. I'll probably just skip through the cutscenes along the way, because you can, well, in case you need to backtrack, you can replay levels here in chapter mode. You don't save progress, but level bonuses and upgrades can be saved, and at the end of the level, a screen will sum up your progress on the level, so if you have gotten everything, it will tell you. If you're still missing something, it will let you know. Excuse me, but we know what we're here for. We just got to get the 1 mana crystal. So let's go get it. And you keep all of the bonuses that you have up to the point that you're in story mode as well. So like our ice and electric and fire and all that will be level 3. So probably these enemies won't last too long when we do this, which will make speeding right through all of this pretty simple, I think. What we got to do is we got to help them with the village here. Once we're done with the village, we have to go back to the one hermit dude, and then after we go to the hermit dude, we have to use the sphere that we used to unlock the raft, and we have to use it for something else to unlock the what's it called? To unlock the mana crystal, as I recall. Alright, y'all obviously don't know what a level 3 Shadow Strike means. There we go. It means little mana use. That's what it means. And lots of damage. So sure. Oh, this guy's still alive. Did we get him? Almost. There we go. I think, yeah, we can just skip right through these. We've seen all these cutscenes before. If you'd like to see them again, well, you might want to go watch, in this case, the first episode, because that's where we had all of these. But yeah, the ice storm should make pretty quick work of most of these guys. So, yeah, there you go. Just need to grab some mana out of them so that I can continue to snowstorm. Because that would be ideal. We done? Yep, we're done. Good. That will work. And we'll skip through this. So now we do have to do the parts of the level that lead up to where the this other mana crystal is. And I can actually go show you where this other one is. I'll just go check on it. It's in a section of the valley over here. You know what? I'll go find Meadow first before we go get it, because I'm pretty sure you need to unlock it. It's like behind a gate or something, but it's not a shadow gate, so it's something that we'll just have to get done with. We've gotten everything else in this level, though, previously. If you are playing along, you might want to go watch the first stream, like I said, because that will tell you, it'll let you watch all the cutscenes that happened here. It'll also let you see where all the other collectibles are, because we slowly meandered around the level and gathered them up as we did it, so. But for now, let's just do this. This is not a cutscene because they're about to,
It's a trap.
yeah, jump up on us, so that's fine. But we should be able to handle these guys without too much trouble at this point, so I'm pretty sure that'll almost, yeah, annihilate them, so. Getting too close to the wall there. I keep pushing him too close to the wall, I guess. He's getting stuck. Let's give him some room. There we go. Got him. Perfect. What else we got? Very little fly guy. Oh, there's two of these guys now. Put that chain link a little bit. The nuclear hits and the poison hits should make this pretty easy to deal with here. Takes care of the rest of them, at least the ones that were here. Let's let Cynder do a little bit of work, shall we? She's been kind of chilling in the background while Spyro does most of the work with electric breath, so I'll give her a chance to blast a few enemies here. There we go. Got him. Pretty easy when you have all the upgrades. But, I mean, I guess that's part of what makes the backtracking fairly simple here. So, okay. Now we gotta find the hermit, and we already got the treasure chest that was over there, so off we go. After I get away from this, this wind barrier. It's even worse than an invisible plot wall. Not only is it preventing me from moving past it, it's also pushing me backwards. That's alright. Okay, so now we can go for a big ol' fly through the Valley of Avalar again. See all the scenery, watch the game chug again. That's okay. I'll show where the magic crystal is now, and then if it is in fact hidden behind something, as I suspect it is, we will go and get the key by doing a little hermit's area. We'll skip through the cutscenes and deal with the apes one last time. I can never escape from them, even when I'm, you know, past the point in the game where they stop spawning. But, that's alright. I think it's over here, actually. So you want to go up here, and climb up here. Hang on. Just thinking I could be fancy there. But I could not. I'll just do it the way that they want you to do it, which is like this. There we go. And you can even grab on the ceiling, but we knew that already because we did the Ruins of Warfang, where this was a required thing to do with the Earth Breath. So, and if you remember this section, this is behind the trees where the elite enemy was in this level. And if you go over here, yeah, there's our mana crystal, and here is a sphere key, basically. So we need to get a sphere from that gate that's locked over here that the Hermit has locked, and once we get that, we can continue with all of the upgrades all taken care of. So we'll just leave the enemies be for now. We really don't got any beef with them. We'll just go over here and get straight to the door. And that'll be that. Enemies might be following me, but that's okay. Yeah, you can speed right through this pretty quickly once you're not, like, wandering through the whole valley looking for something, you know? Because we've done this in a matter of probably about 5 minutes. But that's okay. No big deal. We'll just go do this. Do the little platforming section again. And then we will, once we get that, we'll be good. Let me up. There we go. I probably shouldn't have done that, yeah. Because now it's going to kick me all the way back. I didn't think about running on that other wall. Oh well. We'll do that once I get back there. Hey, Flamenstein. Welcome. How you doing? Welcome back. We're just doing some backtracking. I got most of the stuff in the floating islands already. I just haven't gone through the door that you open up with the torches, so... that's the last thing we have to do. Slide right along here. There we go. Push this bad boy over. Not yet, no. I'm doing the last of the backtracking before we go defeat him, so we will go defeat him later. Oops. Once we are done with getting all the other... Because I only got this one mana crystal left. I did all of the other levels. I completed all of them without needing to have to backtrack in them. So, because of that, we just got this one mana crystal to get... And then once we're done with that, we'll go do the last few fights before we get into the Malefor's lair. And then after that, we'll get to go.
I got it.
This does enough damage to them to kill them. Using quite a bit of my mana here. That's okay. As long as they're getting annihilated, I'm okay with it. Yeah, one of the nice things about the poison hit, specifically for Cynder, is that, well, you can use the poison because it maintains its dot when you hit enemies, so you can get some pretty ludicrous combos after a while if you've got a big group of enemies like this. So this would probably be my personal bet, or this would be where I would say get your combos for that 150 hit combo gallery that you need to unlock. So, because like I just showed, you can get a hella long combo using Cynder's poisonous hit plus other stuff like chain grabs and, you know, that sort of thing. It's pretty useful. Useful, all things considered. Okay, well, we've got the key that we need, so now we can go to the supply cave. We can unlock it, we can grab the sphere key, and then we can take it with us across the valley to grab that mana crystal. And then once we're done with that, we'll head back to the floating islands and we'll get ready to confront Malefor. Yeah, no, you're not late to the stream. Just a little bit, but we only did about half of the floating islands so far, so... And then the rest of this level, which we sort of sped right through in order to get specifically what I need to get the last mana crystal that we need. Because we got all the rest of them, it's just this one, so... Now, if I recall correctly, the sphere key area is past these trees, and then we're going to whip to the left and kind of do a bit of a 180. We'll go over here. Yeah. Here's what I'm looking for. Grab one of these bad boys, probably get lambasted by enemies, but that's okay. Right, come on, Cynder, we gotta get away from these guys, even though I can barely fly. I'm gonna drop off a cliff here in a second, though, because I'm just gonna do that. Can I get back up there? Probably if I go around, right? Yes, if I go up here, and then if I go up from here, I can get back there. Bit of a long trip, but you know how it goes. Alright, there we go. Let's fly it back. Eventually, when I can get myself off the ground for long enough to actually fly it back. Alright, that's good. We'll just walk it over now. We're in good shape. Come on, Cynder, don't tell me you're getting stuck now on something. No, she's gonna catch up in a minute. Alright. Grab this and take it all the way up. Earlier you found out how much of a pain it is to deal with UTF-8 encoded characters in C. I only know the barest minimum about coding much of anything in C. So, frankly, it's all hieroglyphics to me, but since I don't know what a UTF-8 is, I would imagine it's even more of a pain in the ass than I can personally conceive of in my brain, because to me most of C is a pain. But, you know. I feel like I'm in a Rocky training montage right now carrying that thing down here. Hard enough to carry it anywhere else. And there we go. And that'll do it. This is our last mana crystal. That'll get Cynder her last upgrade and Spyro his last upgrade. As you can see, once they get their bars full there, that will be the maximum for both of their bars. So, okay, and that does it for that. Let's see, do you have enough now to upgrade this? Not quite. We need about 2,500 more experience. We should get that in not too long here. And then there's this, which you need about 12,000 more experience. So you need to kill the last elite enemy, then, is what we need to do here to make sure that you get that all the way up. Although, if I recall correctly, once you've gotten everything else, like you've gotten all of the experience clusters and you've beaten all the elite enemies and stuff, you just get maximum EXP, and then you can just upgrade them all the way at your leisure. Not 100% sure about that, but I guess we're going to find out. For now, though, let's head back to chapter mode, or head back out of chapter mode. And yeah, there you go. So this is all of the bonuses that were in the Valley of Avalar, but we got all of them, so there you go. Hope you don't ever need to deal with that kind of encoding again. Oh, it was that bad, huh? That's not good. Well, for however bad it was, I hope that you don't have to deal with it again either, so that way you don't have to, you know, have the headache of whatever that is. I want to say more, but I can't because my knowledge is severely limited in that department. Okay, but we've got everything in all the other levels, as you can see here. We've got, I didn't get everything there, right? Yeah, that, and then, like I said, inside of the gate there is 4 more experience clusters, 1 more health crystal, and 1 more elite enemy. So that's where we want to see, or what we want to see, rather, before we go through the door. That's right by that save point. And since we are done with that, let's continue the story mode. We'll head into the floating islands, the heart of them. Excuse me, we'll beat the last elite enemy, and then we'll go confront Malefor, and we'll finish up the game. Now, if I remember correctly, in the final boss fight, you could just equip your Fury armor and just tear right through his health bar with Fury Breath, but I'm going to try to avoid doing that because... What the hell was that? Oh, that was all the torches lighting. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid just tearing through all of his health with Fury Breath because that seems a little too easy. Doesn't seem like a final boss fight to me that way, you know? So we'll try to do it legit first, and if I'm really struggling for some weird reason, then we'll look into alternative solutions, but I don't really think we're going to have to worry about that. Let's give Cynder a little bit too, because Spyro's almost there. Yeah, we're both almost there. So, we'll give you Electricity Breath, we'll give you Wind Breath, because that will probably work best for us, where we're going. And there's more mana in here anyway, so there we go. Cynder, you're pretty much done with it, but let's get you one. That should, yeah, top you off there. But yeah, there you go. As you can see, the door closes behind us, so... Ain't no going back now, unless you use the chapter function. So, are you good on health? She's good on health. She stole my health gem. Yeah, we're both good on health. Okay. Well, let's open this bad boy up and see what's inside. Waiting for us. A loading screen. No, that's normal. Ah, so there's the last monkey guy. He's up there tossing these things at us. I'm sure we'll let him down in just a moment, but before we do that, we gotta deal with the cronies that he left for us here, so... I believe, yeah, it's the same guys we've been dealing with, and there's also those things that shoot out the, what's it called there, so... They shoot out these spheres, and of course the spear is directly in the middle of one of these guys' arrow storm things. Let's just see what we can do about getting this guy out of here. So I can walk him over even though I'm stuck to a thing. Yeah, I can. Okay, good. Alright. And now for you. There you go. That. Wow, those things can throw those things pretty far, can't they? Let's go get that guy before it becomes a bit of a problem like that. Well, it's a bit more of a problem right now, so. There we go. I think I got it. Yep. Yeah, same stuff as usual. If you're just going to use the normal attacks instead of actually trying to, you know, just use the wind breath to knock them directly off the cliff like this, you can, you know, use electric breath to get rid of their shields, use something else. You can use Comet Dash for good damage. You can use other stuff, but me personally, I like doing the old standby when we had electric breath. Okay, now for this guy. Get me the hell out of there. Actually not sure if this does a dot to him. He seems relatively resistant to the dot effect of that, so... Just gonna get the hell out of there. Okay, back to Cynder. Her mana attacks do more damage, of course, so... That's why you want to kind of do that. Oh, good, these again. Yeah, we'll just melee him, it's fine. We're doing pretty good damage, and Spyro's completely out of mana, so it's not like I have too much other recourse at the moment. And there we go. Easy as that. And defeating him will open up that section there. Now, once you go there, you cannot come back. You are en route to the final battle once you're up there, because that will take you through this gigantic wind draft, which takes us directly to the Dragon Temple. So once you go up there, be ready, because you're not coming back. But you may have seen that we have maximum now. So once we've beaten that section, I guess we've gotten enough experience now to max out everything. So let's go do that, shall we? We'll max out Fear, and now the rest of the experience clusters, I mean, I guess they don't really do a whole lot, but I'm still going to grab them because they still work towards your 100% rating, so. But it gives you exactly enough to finish out the last one, and after that you will gain no more experience. So we have level 3 everything now, so that should work pretty good in our favor. Let's see. Do this for Spyro, get his Earth Boulder going. Maybe I'll use Earth Boulder on the last elite enemy here. Like, try to use it, or use Earth Missile or something. I don't know. We'll see. I know how I usually handle the last elite enemy, and that is, usually I use Fury to get his mask off, and then I blast him with Electric and Shadow Breath. You might be able to use Wind Breath to knock him off the ledge, just like the other guy, but not really sure about that. I guess we'll find out. Let me see here. Recharge points. Yeah, there's a little recharge point right over here, so... Anybody needs some health while we're at it? I think Cynder's good, but everybody could use a little bit of mana, so... Let's see what we can do about that. We'll give Spyro the majority, because he doesn't have regenerating mana, so... the elite enemy's right down there. In that little section there, there's an experience node up there, and I think the health cluster is up there too. So we will go grab that in a second. Just got to go double check and see if there's anything else that we can grab before we go. We've got, I'm going to go up here actually. Just, like I said, don't go through the wind current there because that's your point of no return. I guess I'll grab these. Just don't push too close because it might pull us with it. So, not that close, Cynder. Would have been funny if I switched to her and it like pushed me directly into the wind current. I'd have been like, well, we're going back again. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to try to skirt around here so I don't deal with the elite enemy just yet. Because I want to go grab this stuff first. There we go. So that's 2. And there's this. So there's our last health crystal. That'll get us to near maximum. And I think there's a way that you can like run around to get over to this person, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Oh, there's one down here. Okay, I'll go grab this too. I might be on level with him now, though. Nope, guess we're 1 level above. That's fine. But there's one more experience node around here somewhere, and I don't exactly remember where it is, but I guess we'll find out. Spyro, where'd you go, buddy? Oh, you're stuck on a railing. Okay. That's fine. I think it's up somewhere, like over in that direction somewhere. Maybe up that wall or something. Oh, well, we'll find out. But first, I am going to... Do I want to save my Fury? I think you need Fury to finish the final boss fight. Like, I think you need it for the 3rd phase, so it might not be a bad idea to save it. So I guess I'll equip some Fury armor while I'm here. I don't think... We've used Spyro's Fury armor to knock a mask off. I'm not sure if we've used Cynder's, so I'm going to let her do that. So that way we can... And we'll keep Spyro's nuclear hit offensive set on, so that way he can do some crazy stuff. Okay, so there we go. So now we've got Cynder's Fury Breath on. Let's go down here and meet up with the last elite enemy, who I believe... I don't know if that's a Shadow Mask or if that's a Fury Mask, to be honest. Might be one or both. Not really sure. So...
I got him!
Let's blast him a little bit so we can get back to Mad here. Oh, that's not good. Get the hell out of there. Cynder, why don't you knock him up in the air? There we go. We're done with the Fury armor now. We don't really need it, so... Spyro, whenever you're ready, buddy, to do that. There we go. Nope, nope. Okay, get me out of there. Yeah, that rain does quite a lot of damage there, so
Cover me.
try not to get hit by it if possible. But if not possible, then just do what you can, so... There we go, got him. And I would have Cynder take all of this normally, but, well, we're already maxed out, so it doesn't matter who takes it. But just as easy as that, so... Once you have all of the stuff, all the upgrades and all the armors, usually it's not too bad to go elite enemy hunting. So, they're usually a piece of cake by that point. So... probably want to top everybody off before we go through the door there. But we'll do that in a second. Let's switch Cynder back to her offensive set armor. I could use this one, I guess, but makes you immune to stun, which probably wouldn't be too bad, actually, against the final boss. Nah, I'll stick with the offensive set. I like the dot. So, all right, but yeah, I'm pretty sure there's one more experience cluster, because I think we've only gotten 3 so far. So I just need to figure out where it is. But I remember it being like up here somewhere. Like we have to fly up a wall or something here. Fly around a wall? Let me get back up here first. Go over here, maybe. Yeah, it's up there. I just need to figure out how to get up there. Maybe I gotta go back this way because the draft will kind of pull me upwards towards it. Because this looks like an updraft over here until you get to that point and it just falls right off. Okay. Let's see. Maybe if I just, yeah, I was gonna say, maybe if I just press against this wall, it'll give me an updraft. Sometimes it does that. Doesn't really make too much sense, but hey, I'll take it. All right. Back down here. Let's grab some of this stuff and get ourselves topped off. Spyro just a couple more, and he should be in good shape. And Cynder is pretty much maxed out now, too. Okay. Let's get these for Spyro. He really is the one that needs the HP. And as we showed before, you keep whatever health and mana values you had when you transfer back to your story mode file, so try to get him as good as we can here. Actually, you know what I should do is I should go back down and use the one that's down here so it's not... Oh, there's one up there too. But use the one down here so it's not kicking all the gems off the ledge on me that I can't go grab, because if I did grab them, I'd be going into the point of no return with not maximum health. So, and I think we're good. I'll go back up. I'll hit up that other health one right up here just to make sure we're good. But we're good on mana, so... And if we're not, we can always refill right there. So let's tap this one. Let's see if we can double check. Okay, you're maxed out. How about you? Let's get the one. Okay, you're maxed out as well. I thought that one was going to Spyro, so I double tapped it to make sure. Your mana is maxed out for sure because you've got the regenerating one. So that's fine. And for Spyro, let's just make sure his mana is good. Yep, his mana is good. Okay, so... he's up there, and now we're going to go confront him. Let's go defeat Malefor once and for all, and put an end to his machinations for the world. It's been 850 years in the making here, Malefor, and now you're about to regret choosing the path of evil. But, of course, first we have to, you know, defeat him, so that'll be its own beast. What UTF-8 is for, it's to handle characters that can exist in some non-English language. Oh, okay, gotcha. So then does the UT stand for, like, Universal Translation something or another? Universal Translation Function or something to that effect? Sometimes I understand acronyms, but I could be just bullshitting. Anyway. That looks like a big dragon, but... let's hope he's not actually that big. That would suck. He'd be as big as the Destroyer. He wouldn't have needed the lava golems. He could have just done it himself.
Are you ready for this?
I'm scared.
That's pretty
Stay
normal.
close to me.
We're confronting the greatest evil that the world has ever known. If you weren't scared, I'd be scared. Great. Well, you didn't exactly make it easy to get here.
Don't listen to him, Spyro. Don't listen to anything he says.
What, thank you. Well, how am I supposed to do swinging puzzles now?
You used her. What does he mean? Tell me what?
I mean, we could probably have guessed by now. But that was because you controlled her. So. Hey, Marie, welcome. Yes, you got here just in time for the evil villain monologue. So yeah, like I said in the previous game, Cynder was being controlled by the Dark Master to bring Spyro to the Well of Souls.
Is it true?
Because Spyro was the key that he needed to actually get out.
I don't know anymore.
Accept your destiny. Oh, good. Dark eco in here, too. I mean, the place is radiating heat. I wouldn't be surprised if there was actually dark eco in here.
Cynder, no!
Surprised she didn't grow back up again. It sounds like you're inflecting your own problems onto me, man. You've been alone for 850 years. Ow. We just don't remember them because the rest of them destroyed the world. Yeah, that's actually canon. The purple dragons have, throughout history, been the ones that summoned the destroyer because they have access to the wild energy needed to actually summon them.
No, I don't believe that.
He's not spouting bullshit here, Spyro, but that's not necessarily our destiny. Purple dragons do have wild energy. I mean, you've been to Convexity, you know what we're up against, but doesn't mean you have to use them for evil. Hey, Dragon Phoenix, welcome. Welcome back. Always wanted a Jack and Daxter and Spyro crossover. That would be pretty cool. I'd be down with that. Ow. She's making me use block normally. Ow. I never use block normally. Must be desperate.
Because you've left me nothing to fight for.
We did this as a team, lest you forget.
There's always something.
Well, good to see you're back. Oh, that's just great. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, you gonna breathe dragon breath at us? Prepare to die. Flies away. Oh, now I see the problem. He escaped to the final boss fight of Shadow the Hedgehog. Fantastic. Alright, let's do this. Wow. I don't know if we're going to be able to hit him physically too well, but I might be able to just hit him with electricity breath. That might work okay. Ow. Yeah, I mean, that worked alright. Every so much health that you tap off of him there, you'll get a health and mana boost to get some of your energy back. Cynder, why don't you take over for real quick? Okay, there we go. Okay, dark breath, hard to dodge. Yeah, go this way, thank you. Side. Okay, that didn't exactly work how I was hoping it would, but ow. Dodging's kind of wonky in this particular fight, if you want my honest opinion. So I usually like to just use stuff that tracks, like the electric breath. Just sort of tank through it. And again, you could just use the Fury armor or your Fury bar or whatever to just deal with them that way, but yeah, I don't know. Let's try Fear. That seems to track pretty good. I got no idea what's going on, but I guess I don't want to be on Cynder anymore since she's kind of dying. Ow. There we go. That'll give me a little bit of a boost. The problem is that he usually interrupts before you can get your heavy attacks off, which is really what you want to use in this fight, is your heavy attacks, because that does the most damage, of course. Oh god. Dodge out the way several times in succession, because that would not work very well. Okay, ow. Ow! Why did those track? Those aren't supposed to, normally. Okay, well, fair enough. I believe he was, yes. That's a red flag, if anything. You never name your child after malevolence unless you're asking for trouble, right? This game really doesn't care about how it just uses and abuses its assets. It's just like, well, you know what? It's just them giving into the power of evil. It's them being touched by convexity again. Remember dying here until you abuse the second fear attack? Yeah, I should probably do that more often, shouldn't I? Alright, let's try that again, shall we? Right, we know this works. I think what I need to do is I need to, like... Okay. Well, first I need to turn towards him properly. So I need to dodge through that, which evidently I'm not very good at doing. Okay. I'm going to fly directly at him, and then just whack him upside the head with the heavy attack, if I can. There we go. Cynder, why don't you take over? Okay, well, that got Spyro back a little health. Yeah, basically you just need something that can actually, you know, actually damage him by tracking properly. And sometimes that's a little hard to come by for aerial combat, so... Let's dodge that, Cynder, not stand in front of it. Alright, let's let Spyro take over real quick. I was gonna say I can't believe I dodged that, but I guess I didn't after that whole thing. There we go. The targeting's a little weird in this one, to be honest. It's, sometimes it's difficult to, like, get a good lock on him. Dodge around that a little bit. Ha! Okay. Yeah, when I press the L1 button, Spyro, I'm gonna need you to actually dodge, brother.
Follow me.
Let's get the hell away from that. There we go. Okay, now they're tracking again. I'm not sure why, but alright. Get some of their health back that way at least. See, when you can do that, it works okay. It's just, you gotta actually get to that point, so. And again, for some reason, there seems to be an excessive delay sometimes on using the heavy attack. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, whenever you're ready to get out of that, Spyro. Alright. We're getting there. That didn't give me iframes like I hoped it would. There we go. Alright, now we're done with phase 1. Quick time event, though. Yeah. Get the hell out of there. Eat that! There we go. So phase 1 complete. No, not common at all. This is, as far as I'm aware, the only time since A New Beginning that you're fighting a dragon boss fight, so... Yeah, you don't fight them very often. You also don't fight most of the boss fights flying, but... Well, I see why we were flying now, because we didn't want to be down there when this happened. Great. Crush him beneath the weight of fear! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we didn't have Chaos Spear either. I mean, I guess I had Lightning Bolt, but it doesn't do as much damage as Chaos Spear, so... How am I about to use a tracking attack on this guy when he's flying all over the place? This part, from what I remember, is a little easier because you're more on the ground with him. He flies all over the place, but you can kind of dodge him a little easier. A little easier, I say, as he tanks directly through everything I'm doing. I think I'm hitting him.
Let's go.
Cynder, why don't we, Matter of fact, I might use this as well, because that'll do decent damage, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty much, do you get your heavy attacks off? If you do, well, the fight goes a little easier, but I'm sorry. Matter of fact, I haven't used ice at all, so I should probably use that
Trying to keep up.
a little more, because that should do. He reminded me because I can just do this, and yeah, that'll teach him. Oh god. How about that, Malefor? Snowstorm is good. It does good damage. Alright. Oop. Combo with me, Cynder. We gotta give him a concussion. There we go. Well, more like break his spine, but I'll take it. Where's Light Gaia so we can fix everything again? Yeah, that would be nice, right? So how you do all this work just for all their friends to die? It's, you know... It's... well... We'll get to that. Wow. So now he's put up a Fury Shield, and the only way to do anything about it is to Fury yourself. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. We'll just blast him away, and there we go. Alright, Malefor, you ready for the end? We're about to give it to you there, son. Alright, Cynder, charge him up! And now we'll knock him down. Nice. Well, I don't know where he went, but I think we did good. Oh, crap. Alright. Get your stinking hands off me, you damn dirty purple dragon! There. Got him. And that's it. Well, it will be once we figure that aspect of the equation out, yeah. You know, this didn't work out for you last time. We already did a beam well, it wasn't a beam struggle, we just blasted him, so. Use that convexity power. He gave us that power, so let's use it against him. There we go. I can do this all day, Malefor. I got Fury Armor now. Well, as long as I have mana. Oh, yeah, so, you remember those dragon ancestors that you trained with, Malefor? They might be a little pissed off about what you did. Bye-bye. They don't really explain this part, but the core of the planet is where the ancestor dragon spirits end up. All energy in the world, it flows outward from this, so... yeah, that's where all of those guys came from. But, I mean,
I'm sorry.
the planet's
so
kind of still blowing up, so,
It's over now.
we should probably do something
this
about
is it?
that. I don't want to go to the vacuum of space yet.
When a dragon dies, it does not truly leave this world.
Yeah, he becomes a part of the greater
It lives on,
crystal
finding itself
core.
in nature.
He becomes a part of the life stream,
Hope for the future.
pretty much.
I know what I need to do. Just get out of here, Cynder.
Spyro,
I already
no.
pulled one Deus Ex
We don't
Machina
have to
out of
do
my ass in the
anything.
second game.
Let's just go.
Where?
Yeah, I don't know about that, Cynder.
There'll be nothing left.
Hi,
the
Cole.
world is breaking apart.
So you're getting the game.
But I think I can stop it. I think I'm meant to.
Then I'm with you.
So yeah, purple dragons, again, they have access to the wild energies of the dragon ancestors.
I love
Aw. And as it turns out, they can use that wild energy literally any way they please to do whatever they want, including repair the planet, as you'll see in about 2 seconds when it pulls itself back together. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, guys.
Lego building rebuild sound.
Pretty much. And yes, the ship has finally set sail.
So, if you're wondering why I'm down here, I got some bullshit to tell you when you're done with the stream.
Okay.
Because I don't know what to do in this situation.
You could watch this in this
I mean, I'm
situation.
going to watch this. I'm going to wait to bitch until after you're done streaming.
Okay.
Because, and I quote, Cole, you need to learn to play chaotic neutral when it comes to work. I think I'm leaning towards chaotic evil right now, so I need you to balance me out.
Well, we just balanced out the world of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, so maybe we can do that for you as well. Because that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, all things considered, this one's pretty good. I would call this my favorite of the trilogy, to be honest. Let me take a drink so I can get my monologue going. So, probably my favorite of the trilogy. The main thing that you can tell that I kind of like, it's probably the main thing I like the most about the Legend of Spyro trilogy. It's probably why I have a bit of a soft spot for it. Like I said, go into this trying to kind of bridge the gap between devoted superfan and this game is trash because I don't like it because it's not the OG trilogy, which seems to be the binary opinion on the internet of the Legend of Spyro trilogy. I do see the flaws that the game has, but the part that I like the most about it is the fact that you can kind of see how they continued to build on the mistakes that they made over the course of the series, because they started from incredibly humble, we'll use that as a euphemism, humble beginnings with Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. And they built their way up, and they said, okay, so let's go back to the drawing board, what didn't work, and they improved in the next game, at least in the GBA version. And then they said, okay, so we kind of have the gameplay loop down now, how do we improve it and extrapolate it into a 3D environment? And then they did that in this game, while also improving upon the narrative, and I think that was kind of the main thing that I sort of focused on talking about when we were looking at the story cutscenes. The narrative of this game primarily revolves around Cynder's character development. And what they did with it is they kept it fairly simple. They made it entirely about the relationship between Cynder and other characters, specifically between Spyro and Cynder. Because I mentioned before, every single character in the game that's an NPC acts as a bit of a foil for her character development because none of them trust her. They all give her shit for things that she's done in the past. Except for Spyro. Spyro does not give her shit for the stuff that she did in the past. He has consistently given her second chances across the entire series and said, no, she should be judged for what she's doing now, not for what she's done in the past. And I think that's why the eventual them kind of consummating and Cynder saying, I love you, I think that's why it works pretty okay, because it's like, it's a fairly simple storyline, but they don't try to make it complex, and they build that up through the other characters in the game. All of them exist to build that up. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Sometimes I would rather have a story be done well, even if it's simple, than for them to try to go too complex with it and just throw it all over the floor like a bunch of raw ingredients that they were trying to get into a pot, and they tripped halfway through because they built their kitchen on a mountain. This metaphor got way off kilter here.
I would just like to point out that I did not realize how good the voice cast was in this game. Like Frodo's in there, Mark Hamill. So, holy shit!
That's the whole trilogy, really, is that the voice work that they had in this trilogy was really... And it kind of worked against them in the other games because, like, they had problems with the voice direction in other games, and that is still present in Dawn of the Dragon, but it also ate directly into their budget like a motherfucker in the other games. And it did in this game, too, don't get me wrong, but I gotta give it to Elijah Wood, specifically, and Gary Oldman, and, you know, the people that stuck with the project. From a voice perspective and then from the other perspectives, we'll get into passion in a little bit in terms of how they feel about this game. I got to give it to all of them for sticking with it because, I mean, this was a game that was going downhill. A New Beginning was not successful. The Eternal Night on consoles was not successful. you can say as much or as little as you want about how good of games they are. They're not good games. You're looking at them too rosy if you think they are good games. I apologize. That's not like opinion. That's objective fact. They are not well-designed games. They actively inhibit the player from playing them in some cases, or they're so busted in the gameplay department that sometimes you just can't play them, or you play them and the enemies just fall over and you're pretty much not interacting with the combat in good ways. But by the time you get to Dawn of the Dragon, you can see how a lot of those problems were at the very least tweaked, if not solved. The combat is more engaging and more visceral in a way. It lets you interact with it no matter how you feel like you want to interact with it. It gives you a big toolbox and it says all this stuff's overpowered. Go to work. Go nuts. Shadow Strike, of course, is more overpowered, but the rest is it's still overpowered, and so it gives you a big toolkit, and it says play the game however you want, and it all works pretty well. So, so I would say that by the time they get to this point, the gameplay loop is pretty well solved. The story's done pretty well. There goes the enemies gallery unlocking. Let me finish my monologue, then we'll get to the final cutscene here. What else? Music. We got to talk about the music. So the song that you heard during the credits at the end there, it's called Guide You Home. It was actually an original song composed by the composers of this game. So Rebecca Newell and Gabriel Mann were the people singing that song. And you definitely want to go listen to it without my jackass voice being over top of it, because it's a pretty damn good song. But it brings me to the passion subject about this trilogy, because, again, by the time you get to the Dawn of the Dragon, it feels like this game became a project of passion for most everyone involved. You could see the heart that they were trying to pour into it. They said, we've been dealt a bad hand, but we want to make this game as good as we possibly can. And I don't think you get that feeling any more strongly than when you're listening to Rebecca Newell and Gabriel Mann essentially serenade you to congratulate you for completing the game. So I see the problems. I don't think the music ever fully escaped from its God of War roots. In some cases, I think the gameplay needs a little more tweaking in some situations. Again, I think Shadow Strike is a little too powerful. But in other cases, it feels like it just feels like if you have it, it's too powerful, but if you don't have it, there are some situations where the game would be a little bit more of a slog to play without it. So there's that. Still a little bit of a problem with the voice direction in some cases. Again, nothing to really break the experience. There's a little bit of jank in the graphical fidelity, but the game looks great, all things considered. But I'm willing to overlook a lot of these problems, again, because of the fact that I enjoy the consistent improvement across the series that they made with the Legend of Spyro trilogy. And by the time you get here, you have a game that I wouldn't necessarily call great, but I would say that it was fairly contemporary with the other games that were coming out at the time. It holds its ground in a way that you wouldn't expect if you just played the first game. So, all things considered, they turned it around pretty good, and I'm glad to show off the project of passion that they all worked so hard towards. So, that's my thoughts on Dawn of the Dragon. Let's save with our 100 out of 100 file. Then we will look at the final cutscene, and then I'll see all the chat that I missed before we call it a day.
And then I get to yell in your ear about work things.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh boy, I have another one for you today.
Speaking of work, the Chronicler's still hard at work.
Be welcome, friend. I have long been expecting you.
For now, anyway.
A new age is beginning. With each new age, a worthy dragon is chosen to chronicle the many triumphs and failures of that age.
It's likely this is why the other purple dragons were not listed in history, because the chroniclers of the past said, we should probably just, erase that from history after Malefor fucked everything up. But yeah, Ignitus is, well, he's not okay, he's dead, but this is a spirit realm, you see.
That is the question, isn't it? You see, each time a dragon dies, a new page is written in this book. I've done my best, but I can't seem to find any trace of Spyro.
Well, you know what that means.
My last words. Fucking leaves.
It means Ignitus is the new chronicler.
Well, young dragon,
But also,
where might you be?
Yeah, so they're both still alive. Yay! Wait, I get it. Spyro, Cynder, you mad geniuses. You faked your own deaths so you never have to see Sparks again. Man, if I only played A New Beginning, I'd probably do the same thing. In their shoes, I'd do the same thing. Oh boy. There you go. Story mode over. That's it for everything in Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. We'll look at the bonus calories in a second. Let's take a look at the chapter function so I can show you that we have everything. We got all this stuff. There's nothing left to gather. And we got most of it the first time around, actually, so I was kind of impressed at that, to be honest. Now, usually I have to go back to a few levels, so... But, I mean, you know, it all works. We got it the first time around. All right, let me check in on chat, and then we'll finish this whole bad boy out. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, apparently we got EXP, even though it's the final boss, so... This is so captivating that you almost forgot to check your rice cooker. No, don't forget to check that. The rice will harden up. That's not good. And now all the civilizations will starve to death because the whole planet is lava. Fantastic. You play neutral, Evo. Once you go chaotic, people get HR involved.
I told you to assume there's HR at the restaurant.
Oh boy. Thank you, Tanim. I appreciate that. Yeah, Elijah Wood plays as Spyro's voice actor. Yeah, so... And that's one of many reasons why it's going to be kind of difficult to get the same voice actors back for that. I mean, they could... They could bring them back, but the voices would sound different, or they could use the voice files they have here, but they'd be a little crunchier than what you'd expect from other games, so, yeah. Yeah, the it was fun when I was a kid part, yeah, I get that. A lot of nostalgia causes a little bit of blindness to looking at the objectivity of a game. And again, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. I don't like A New Beginning as a game, because it doesn't give you a good reason to engage in the gameplay, the story's kind of garbage, the characters aren't well developed in most cases, and the music is passable. That, to me, does not equate to a good game. I don't like the Eternal Night on PS2 specifically, because they didn't have enough time to solve all of those problems in the Eternal Night. The problems that they did solve actively inhibited the game because it made it hard for hard's sake, not hard because it actually required skill from the player. It made it kill you in 3 hits or less and force you to go through waves of enemies over and over again. So I don't like the Eternal Night on the console, but we didn't play that version. We played the GBA version, which I like much better because it doesn't bullshit you with one-hit kills in some cases. So I don't like A New Beginning. I do like the Eternal Night with a big, huge asterisk next to it, and I do like Dawn of the Dragon. So it's kind of an up and down for me. But again, I do like the fact that you start, even though the first game I think was bad, like, again, it doesn't engage you in its gameplay loop very well, and that's why objectively it's bad. The rest of that is subjective, in my opinion. So even though it's bad, it sets a baseline for them to improve upon with the other 2 games. And that's why I kind of enjoy the trilogy, even with its faults and even with its jank. Because even though in some cases it is bad, they actively take time to improve upon it, and they don't just keep selling you shovelware, which is not something that you necessarily see all the time in video game development. And the fact that they were stunted in the financial department for most of these games, and they had very little time to actually prepare an entire trilogy, that's to be lauded, that the game still came out as good as it did for the Eternal Night GBA and then for Dawn of the Dragon itself. I think that they should be congratulated for the amount of work that they put in and for, again, being able to take this game that they're passionate about and improve it to the point where it's not just passable, but also done well. So, yeah, that's my overall thoughts. And that's why I would still... I don't regret playing this trilogy, I would say that much for the stream, despite the fact that, again, I still know where the flaws are in the games. I don't regret playing it because I do enjoy seeing that consistent improvement across the trilogy, and that's why it has a bit of a soft spot in my heart for me. We have some galleries to take a look at, so I guess we'll just flip through these real quick, just so we can look at some concept art. I don't know if this just goes on its own. I think it does, but... As a programmer, what impresses you about Spyro Dawn of the Dragon is they managed to make it run on the PS2. Yeah, and that's another thing, too, right? Is that this game was at the cusp of the development between the PS2 and the PS3, where most companies were starting to transition over to the higher-end hardware. But not only is this game available on the PS3, it's also available on the PS2, so it's on earlier hardware. And, I mean, it doesn't run well in most cases, especially in the Valley of Avalar, but they just kind of reduce the quality of the grass and the water and the lava, and it still runs pretty okay on the PS2, all things considered, so that's impressive. Not to be messed with in terms of the amount of technicality that goes into that, so. So now I mentioned previously, let's see, let me look at what everybody's saying and then I'll mention what I said previously. PS2 only has 32 megabytes of RAM, which is so small of an amount, it's impressive that it even runs on the PS2. Yeah, like I said, it's to be lauded. And the game still looks pretty good on the PS2, even though they had to reduce some of the quality stuff. But again, it's technically very impressive that they could run this on older console hardware like that, for reasons that you mentioned there. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Played this on PS3, didn't even know it was on PS2 at the time. Yep, yeah, I'd had an older gen. I don't know if it'd be considered a port. It was just like a simultaneous release, basically. I'm digging the music that they got in the background here. They're bringing back the best song from A New Beginning, so that's good. Yeah, so I mentioned previously that this game and this trilogy in general is a bit on the bittersweet side for me personally. And that's for two reasons. The first main reason that it's bittersweet for me is because of the fact that with A New Beginning completed, I am done playing PS2 games on PS2 hardware forever for my channel, I think. I don't anticipate ever coming back to the PS2 to play anything, because all the other games that I would have wanted to play on the PS2, I've either already played for the stream or the channel, or they've gotten re-releases either on the PSN, or they've gotten high-definition remasters or re-releases on some other platform. For example, Final Fantasy XII has the Zodiac Age, Nocturne has its HD remaster that I still need to mod with the proper music, etc., what have you. So most of the other PS2 games that I would want to play for the stream, I can do on different hardware now. I don't have to do it on the PS2. And that's a little bittersweet for me, because the PS2 was a console that was very near and dear to my heart growing up. Played it all through high school and a good chunk of college. It was my go-to console for anything that I wanted to do. And so it's a little bittersweet for me to be, coming out of that and having to, and not playing the console ever again for the stream. But in addition to that, there's also the fact that this is probably going to be the last time that I cover anything related to Spyro for the stream forever. And I think that one hits a little more home for me, because Spyro was a very close to my heart mascot when I was in my childhood and growing up through my formative years. I played a lot of Ripto's Rage when I was younger, and while I didn't play these games in my childhood, the Legend of Spyro series, I didn't play them until I was well past my teenage years. I would still consider them to be an integral part of my experiences with Spyro over time. But now that we've played the Reignited trilogy and this trilogy, so that I can escape from Year of the Dragon being the last Spyro game that I played, I guess I can say this with a fair amount of clarity. I prefer Dawn of the Dragon as a conclusion to a trilogy over Year of the Dragon as a conclusion to a trilogy. I think Dawn of the Dragon is better than Year of the Dragon, so I guess take that, OG trilogy purists. I don't know. I think they're both pretty good games, but I like one better than the other, that's for sure. But yeah, so saying goodbye to a video game character that I have grown up with like this, and that helped me out so much in my formative years with giving me something to do when I was bored, or anything to that effect. I don't want to say it's like cutting off a limb, but it's like saying goodbye to an old friend and knowing that you probably will never see them again. I can go back to the series that I've done and just, see them again, but it won't be the same as interacting with them and playing the actual games with them, you know what I mean? So it's bittersweet for me for those two reasons. I'm glad that I was able to play these games for the stream, But at the end of the day, it is a little bit of a downer because I know that I won't be seeing Spyro again for the streams after this. And we'll also, unless I, for some godforsaken reason, get a PS5 in my future, doubt that's ever going to happen, be saying goodbye to another mascot from my formative years in a few more stream projects. There's another particular mascot whose games I'll be playing, and they'll be the last games that I play of theirs for the stream. I know.
Fucking mad.
We'll get to that when we get to that, but yeah. So it's like saying goodbye to an old friend, and it's difficult. You know what I mean? It's not something that's. You would think, oh, it's a video game character. You know, why are you taking it so? But it's not just a video game character. I've spent probably at this point a couple hundred hours playing Spyro games over the course of 2 decades of my life. So.
Just because a video game character is fictional does not shut you off from being able to feel things.
Yeah, and it's an investment of time where you get attached to the character, so it's difficult sometimes to say goodbye to them, but, well, we're going to have to once I get through all these galleries. So.
And then you get to listen to me scream about my coworkers again.
Oh boy, that'll be fun. Played everything. Golden Sun is still your childhood. Golden Sunday was amazing this year. It was Golden Sun's 20th. Oh, nice. That's cool. Glad to see they're still celebrating their anniversaries, even though Golden Sun hasn't really gotten a game in a long time. But yeah, this artwork is interesting to see. It's cool to see how they've formed all of the different enemy types in the game, and it's not just the apes like it used to be. It's more than just that, and seeing them create all of this artwork is seeing the concepts being built and then brought to life is pretty cool. So I get the feeling this is going to be the longest gallery.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Those, I don't think those made it into the final product.
That would be the coolest fucking thing I have ever seen. Imagine just walking around on a stage and then it just stands up.
I mean, that was that guy, but he was already standing up when we saw him, so.
Dark dragons out here fucking turning the planet into monsters.
No, we haven't gotten a game since 2010. Nintendo keeps renewing the licensing, though, Ree! Oh, boy.
Understandable. Have a good day.
But yeah, so I've pretty much said all I need to say, so we'll watch through these galleries and look at how interesting they are. That looks like Malefor's old concept art before they turned him into that. And once we're done watching through these, it looks like we've only got one left. We already watched the credits. Hopefully I remember this time to actually put the song that was playing over the credits in the description so that everybody can listen to it, again, without my stupid-ass voice talking over top of it. But yeah, once this one's done, we'll exit off the menu and we'll say goodbye.
Make it to my school. As is not unusual. I want you to take a guess. What happened?
I'll guess after the stream.
Okay.
How about that? You made your dinner for today and tomorrow. You'd spicy orange. Oh, you did make the orange chicken. Okay, well, hopefully it came out good for you.
We are having what I can only describe as glorious protein for
Beef tips over egg noodles. This is pretty good. But yeah, this artwork is cool. Again, seeing the concepts come to life is interesting to me. I've never really been a huge fan of looking at the concept art of stuff. Like, it never just really tripped my trigger, you know what I mean? It's not like something that I get fascinated by, but it is interesting seeing all of the environments that they built in concept, and then seeing them extrapolate them into a 3D environment, or a 2D in the case of the Eternal Night, although I don't think we saw any concept art in that one. But yeah, it's all interesting to me. It's just not anything that I was ever particularly fascinated by. Not trying to discount the work that they did, because this is a hell of a lot of work that they put into this concept art. And bringing it to life, even more work. So, but yeah, it was never anything that I personally got too overexcited about.
God damn, I've seen these creature concepts.
Big fan of them, huh?
Well, I mean, yeah, when you consider some of the original concept art and what probably led to the Destroyer was Malefor literally turning the Earth against its inhabitants.
Yeah, well,
Like, could you imagine just roaming through the city and the fucking plateau that sticks out from it turning into a scorpion tail and starts destroying the city? I'd shit myself. That is literally a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking Shadow of the Colossus shit.
And there's your indication there, the subtitles, the captions that they had on some of the stuff that we saw in the previous screenshots there. There's your indication that this did, and it is there too. This was developed by a French developer, so Strange Dragonflies is what the translated form is. I'm going to butcher the shit out of the actual French pronunciation right now, so I apologize to anyone who's French in the audience that would prefer that I didn't. But the studio itself was called Étrange Libelle. I think that's how you pronounce it. It translates to Strange Dragonflies. That's why I'd rather say that, because I can say it in English much easier. But, I mean, I think that if anyone was going to create the final game in this trilogy, I think Chrome picked a good, worthy successor, because they named their studio. They had made some games before this, nothing nearly this elaborate or over the top. That almost looks like a real life thing. But, I mean, they named their studio after the fact that they played Spyro games growing up. So, if you're going to pick anybody to be a successor to your game development when you, as Chrome, say, no, Sierra's just jacking us around again with the budget and everything else here. We have other projects we want to work on. There's no way we're going to get this done and make the game the way that we want it to end. We want it to end in a satisfactory way with a solid conclusion that actually makes our passion for the game known. Who better to pick as your successor than the people who named themselves after the IP that you're developing for? You know what I mean? So. But yeah, all things considered, I would call Spyro Dawn of the Dragon a good game. Again, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it does overcome a significant number of hardships and hurdles in order to become the game that it is. And I think that, by extension of how much work has to go into game development, is pretty impressive, all things considered. So, yeah, good job, Strange Dragonflies. You guys helped Chrome and everybody else bring it back. Good job to everybody who stuck with this project. It was a long one. For a lot of you, I'm sure. There was 4 years worth of game development there before this game came out total, between all three of the games. And that's a slog for game development, for you to have to go back to the studio immediately after golding the last game and say, well, we got to work on this one now, because we only got 11 months to do it. So yeah, good job to the people that made this game. Good job sticking with it. I'm glad you did, because the overall product, again, while not a masterpiece, is a pretty fun time. I would recommend it to people who are looking for something else to do and have a PS3 and a significant amount of recurring income, because this game is hella expensive nowadays. They didn't print very many copies of it. I managed to get mine fairly cheap, but that was years ago. So, yeah. That's going to do it for the Legend of Spyro trilogy, and specifically the Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon, the Stream Edition. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I personally enjoyed it, even though, again, we started with a game that I don't particularly like. We brought it back. Everybody brought it back, and that's the important part. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I'll be back later this week with another stream project. I will not be telling you just yet what it is. We'll be seeing a few other old friends while we're at it. So, we'll see who that is on Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So until then, everybody, or wherever I see you next around the internet, I hope you'll take care and have a good one. At least you got a digital copy of Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, that's a good thing, too, because Legend of Dragoon is hella expensive to replace as well. Although I forget if it ever made it onto the PSN. I have to look into that. I haven't played... I never actually got to play that game, now that I think about it, because I watched a friend play it many, many years ago. I never really got to play it myself. Oh boy, another game for the stream list. What's that, 126 now? I'm gonna be here for a while. You're welcome, Tan. I'm glad that everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed it. I appreciate you all coming out to see it. It did come out on the PS3's PSN. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, maybe I'll look into that. And add another game to the list of things I have to do here. This hobby is going to take me a long time to hurdle through. gonna be dust before I finish all these games. But we'll have had fun getting there, that's for sure. You can't snap because the stream isn't concluded yet. You have to snap right when the stream concludes, like...